Satish Manishinde, a senior lawyer. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. So, can you, what do you make of this, sir? He's been arrested and now given bail as well.
Well, I'm appalled by what is happening. I'm sitting with a few lawyers in New York, and it's very strange and vindictive attitude of the Indian government and the banks that they're going after Vijay Mallya again and again, particularly when he's arrested and released on bail in a pending extradition proceeding. There's no need of a fresh arrest. So all that the Indian authorities could have told the British Crown prosecution cell was to, start extradition proceedings in this case. But there was no need to go after him so vindictively, particularly when more than 3 lakh crores of Indian funds have been given to other borrowers, and the government of India has done nothing.
Yeah.
The banks have done nothing. The Indian courts have stayed most of the proceedings against those 12 persons. So I don't see any reason why
Mr. Manchinde, let me just interrupt you, sir. You're saying that you are appalled by the manner in which the Indian government is going after Vijay Mallya. But let's just talk about the developments of today, sir. Vijay Mallya was already out on conditional bail. What we are given to understand that today's arrest pertains to a fresh affidavit, a fresh request for extradition that's been filed by the Enforcement Directorate with charges of money laundering. And the government's point of view seems to be that, look, he was arrested because prima facie the court in London finds enough merit to have made the arrest. And then, of course, giving him bail is part of the proceedings and a formality that they have to go through. But prima facie, the court seems to have found merit. How do you respond to that argument?
Well, if you see
Mr. Manishinde, can you hear me?
Yeah, if you see the history of this case, no less than a person of Mr. Sharad Pawar's stature has gone on record to say that he had summoned a meeting of all the bank chairmen who were to recover money from Mr. Mallya, and he listed about more than 100 people who were being differently treated. And the answer of the then chairman of the State Bank of India was that Mallya has to be treated separately and differently. So if this is the attitude of the banks, I don't see any reason how they'll be going after those other defaulters. And it is a matter of record that these people have enjoyed the money for the personal benefits. Mallya had taken it for his business. Even if the case is that he has diverted monies, Mallya has said that he has got explanation for all these transactions that have taken place.
Yeah.
So
that will have to be something that the court will have to decide on. But Mr. Manishinde, do you believe that this is a procedural arrest, and hence let's not make too much about this particular development today? Because a fresh ER request was filed by the ED, hence this arrest was made, and as is part of the process, bail has now been granted. So should we not make too much or attach too much significance to this arrest?
No, why was it necessary to arrest a person who is already under arrest and who has executed a bond? His passport has been seized in England.
Yeah.
This is only to, defame him and... try and tell...
Okay. Sir, Mr. Manishinde, sir, hold on. We've got, and I'll get you to respond to the arguments that we will now hear from Hiten Vengaonkar, lawyer for the Enforcement Directorate against Mr. Mallya. Hiten, appreciate you joining us here. I understand that a fresh extradition request was filed by the Enforcement Directorate earlier in September. Can you explain to us what is the fresh evidence? What is the charge that the ED has now made, asking for Mr. Mallya's arrest for the second time in London?
It is nothing like first arrest or second arrest. It is only a procedural arrest which has taken place. If you remember last hearing, the UK court has granted Indian authorities to file the entire investigation material before the courts, and those papers were also to be handed over to Vijay Mallya. That exchange of pleadings have taken place with an affidavit saying that on the basis of the statement made before the Indian court that we are further investigation, further investigation is is in progress. So now we have fresh material. So that fresh material has also been placed. Now, in pursuance of that fresh material which we have, we shows that Vijay Mallya has been money laundering the money, and those offences we have material to show that it can be proved. So on that basis, this arrest has been taken place. It's just a procedural arrest. He will be released on bail.
It's a procedural arrest. You're confirming that. So, Hiten, where does this head from here? Because, you know, one would imagine that one would question whether this would actually mean any kind of advancement or preponement of the extradition process itself. That matter is slated to start hearing in December. Is that a fair expectation, or will that process continue as per schedule, the earlier schedule?
Nothing is going to be expedited because of this procedural arrest. The law is going to take its own time. However the UK courts function, they are going to function the same manner. The hearing will take place on 4th of December, and after conclusion of the hearing, only whatever order is passed by the UK authority or UK courts, it will all depend upon them. This procedural arrest will neither expedite nor slow down the process.
Okay, so you're saying this procedural arrest will neither expedite nor slow down the process. I've got Satish Manshinde here on the line, Hiten, and his view is, and those are the words he's using, and I'll get Satish to comment as well, saying that this is appalling behavior on the part of the Indian authorities, that Vijay Mallya already out on conditional bail. The matter is being heard in a London court. Why go after him in this fashion? That's the argument being presented by Satish Manshinde. Hiten, if you could respond to that.
See, all the evidence that the prosecutor is saying has come up was available to them since 2005, 2006, when the last loan was, disbursed to Mallya. So I don't see what they would discover after 10 years, and particularly when, all these materials are available to the CBI. This is total vindictiveness. This is total arbitrarism, and singling out Mallya is not going to help the Indian judicial system or the criminal administration system.
Okay, you're saying that this is vindictiveness on the part of the Indian...
here just now in New York or thinking of a few investments in India. If this is what is going to happen to a well-established businessman, you can imagine what these Americans who are willing to come and invest in India are going to think about our system.
Okay. Hiten, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but Hiten, if you are still with us, I was having a conversation with Majid Memon a short while ago, and he was involved with the Nadeem extradition matter. So his point of view was that this is probably now going to head from the magistrate's court to a higher court, so that the merits of the case will be examined in greater detail. Is that what you anticipate as well, Hiten?
Yeah, of course, yes. When we have approached the UK authorities or UK courts, we always knew that there are going to be the legal remedies available to whoever will be aggrieved by the orders passed by the lower court. So whenever there is an order which will be passed by the lower court, there are higher courts. So unless and until the last door of the legal system of UK is closed, nothing finally is going to come out of it.
Okay. Hiten, what is the fresh evidence, if you can share with us? Because as several people have commented that this business of fund diversion, etc., has been part of the case that's been built around Vijay Mallya for years now. So what is the fresh evidence that, that the ED has produced in its affidavit to the court?
See, I can't discuss the details of the evidence which has been placed, because the matter is placed sub judice before the Indian courts as well as before the UK courts. But I can definitely tell you that Indian authorities, that is the Enforcement Directorate authorities, are bound by law that unless and until they are not satisfied that he has been guilty of money laundering, he can't be charged. So that satisfaction has been drawn on the basis of the material which is there. So it is absolutely absurd to say that he has just invested money, or he has just, the money has been utilized for some other purpose and there is no laundering. We are satisfied that there is an offense of money laundering.
Okay, you're saying that you are satisfied that there is an offence of money laundering. Hiten, again, for the benefit of our viewers, and of course this is a matter that will play out in a London court as per the UK's legal jurisdiction. But give us some sense of what are we talking about in terms of broad timelines for when we could see a conclusion one way or another?
It's difficult to really draw the timeline, but I can definitely tell you that 2018 we may see Vijay Mallya in India.
What gives you the confidence of saying that 2018? And I just go back again to the Nadeem matter, because that took about 4 years before we actually came to a conclusion. So what gives you the confidence to say that 2018 Vijay Mallya will be back in India?
See, there are two reasons why I really differentiate these two things. Nadeem's case was exclusively an offence which was committed in India, and therefore the UK authorities always had that obligation, or rather that cover under the Extradition Act, to decide on their own whether it amounts an offence in their own country. But as far as money laundering is concerned, this money laundering offence has come out of the convention treaty between several countries, of which UK is also one of the parties.
Okay.
And money laundering is also recognized as one of the major offence in UK itself. And therefore, there is possibility, or rather we have a case of dual criminality which has been charged, like offence being committed even in UK and in India. So on that basis, I'm very confident that we will succeed. So it's nothing to do or equate with the Nadeem's case. It is absolutely different. And the manner in which central government has been pursuing.
Central government obviously aggressively pursuing this matter. I was just trying to understand and get some perspective, because that's the most recent extradition matter that we've seen. But Satish Manchinde, you just heard there from Hiten saying that this is a matter of money laundering. The Indian government, as well as the Indian investigating agencies, believe that they have a very strong, watertight case. They also believe that on the issue of dual criminality, they believe that Vijay Mallya will be brought back to India by 2018, and they feel absolutely confident about that. Satish.
Thank you. So, see, facts are the same. It's overlapping of the facts, and there's nothing new which has emerged. And I'll see what happens in future. But I'm sure the British system will oversee what is happening in the courts here in India, and the way they are issuing warrants at the instance of the money laundering authorities and the CBI. Someday, I think there'll be an end to all this. Okay, thank you, Shireen.
Okay, Hiten, I'll thank you, Satish. Appreciate you joining us from New York. But Hiten, let me give you the final say. So the next date that we need to watch out for is the 4th of December. Or is there now anything prior to that as well that we need to be cognizant of?
No, as far as the evidence which was to be placed, we have already placed it. All the affidavits and everything has been exchanged. So 4th of December will be the date for lookout.
And this fresh evidence has also been shared with Mr. Mallya's legal team, because I remember in the last hearing in July, 800 pages were submitted to the Mallya legal team. So this fresh evidence has also been shared with them.
Yes, for the fair prosecution, it has to be. All whatever we are placing before the courts will have to be shared with the Mallya.